Kendrick Lamar, bro. Some damn Kendrick album. You got Mr. for Christmas. I know you damn well did. I know you definitely got some damn Mr. for Christmas, bro. But what we're gonna go ahead and do, we might even talk about JNX further in the video. But what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go ahead and talk from like worst Kendrick albums, boo, his, all them albums, you know what I mean, to the best albums, bro. Yay, oh my god, Prince, bro, whoa. You know what I mean? So obviously Kendrick's got 8. So let's start off with number 8. That being Overly Dedicated. The reason that album ends up being the worst one, obviously, it's his first album he ever put out, so it's fair enough to be his worst. He only progressively got better. But the reason that this is at the bottom is because there's so much like new stuff he was trying to do, but it was still, the songs are very outdated now. So like, even though I did get my first pair of Jordans for Christmas, you know what I mean? Hey man, nobody really wants to hear someone sing, I used to want to be like Michael Jordan, in this like cinematic way. That's like all the way back then. That's not now. You can never do that now. What I will say on like the positive side, like apart from like all the outdated shit, the beginner level shit, what is good about this album in general is he still got a good level of lyricism. You know what I mean? There's this aesthetic that happens within it because of like these lo-fi or low fidelity ways he would mix the samples, like on Ignorance is Bliss. That LA kind of personality comes through on Cut You Off, where you boo-boo. Shut the fuck. That's the good qualities of this album. So unfortunately it's not his best, but there's still reasons to listen to it for. But what do we do after we do something bad, bro? We apologize to God, and we go completely nameless. We don't even name the album. We don't even master it, bro. Untitled, Unmastered, number 7. Even though this album came out after To Pimp a Butterfly, these are the throwaways for a reason. Yes, they are still good. So they do end up at number 7, like Overly Dedicated. These are ideas, but not necessarily good songs throughout. Like, there are great songs like Get God on the Phone, which Doechii, after she joined TDE, went on to interpolate with a choir. It was still him on this album too. These songs didn't end up on To Pimp a Butterfly for a reason, you know what I mean? So there is this level of, okay, let's move on. And what we move on to in this case is number 6, Section 80, which is a great album, Can't hate too much on it. Obviously still in the early part of Kendrick's career, where even Drake was making better albums. But like, this ends up being higher than Untitled and Mastered, higher than Overly Dedicated, because you have songs like Fuck Your Ethnicity, Hold Up, ADHD. Chapter 6, I think Chapter 6 might be the song where it was like Payback's a Bitch and y'all been living in debt. Ugh. That's some Lil Wayne shit right there, bro. But then you have choruses such as Fashion Done, which I don't want to hear in 2024. So yes, there is these songs that are also outdated because of the year that they was released in. But you have so many good songs that I've already named: ADHD, Hold Up, Rigor Mortis, High Power, Chapter 6. So you can't even hate on bro. Like, this is a good album still. It's just not Kendrick's best. It's at number 6 for a reason, bro. It doesn't even make top 5. And what actually makes top 5 is an album like Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, which was a very special place in my damn heart, bro. Because I was able to go ahead and, watch him in concert this time after Mr. Morale had already dropped. This is the Mr. Morale Big Steppers tour. I saw Baby Keem. I saw Tommy Leone. It was up, bro. One of the best concerts I've ever seen. And in the past few years, I've seen Tyler, the Creator. I'm going again. Kendrick Lamar. I feel like on an artist level, yes, these songs are psychological. There's innovation to them. But what's more impressive to me, which also kind of lets the album down a bit too, is how these songs are mixed. The best example, which is the best song I think on the album itself, Rich Spirit. So wide, so reverb, so glossy, for no reason, so nice, bro. That's one of the illest songs I've ever heard, bro. Based on mixing, fucking phenomenal. When that mixing actually lets the album down is on songs like N95. Yes, he's giving you these COVID bars, which are desperately needed in a time where we don't have COVID anymore. I think he was like 2 years too late. I do think that's what lets the album down sometimes, is the topics it was discussing was a bit 2 years ago, like more in the pandemic side of things, more than like the protests and shit, like, because that's always gonna happen, even in the future history. But yeah, we're gonna have a pandemic. Are we gonna have another COVID pandemic though? You know what I mean? Someone fuck around and eat a fucking fly or some shit, and then now we got zip zap virus. Top 4, GNX, best song of the album, best album of the year. But Kendrick goes on and he pays homage to the West Coast, the blue side, the G Perico side. Yes, I want G Perico on this album, or maybe the deluxe. Kind of good that he didn't make it. You know, Kick Dough probably made like top 9, top 10. You know what I mean? Top 10 of the songs of the year that I enjoyed. Hurricane inspired me when it comes to choruses. And I feel like every time I bring up G Perico, which is very often recently, I just say the same things. I'm just gonna go ahead and say the same things. But let's talk about GNX, the album that G Perico should have been on. Let's talk about... It's not just recent Bay Area stuff. It's not even recent. It's not even just recent Los Angeles type of homage, because he is going and sampling Tupac. Maybe SWV is from Los Angeles, but I would have to look into that, because they was sampled on the Hot Pot 6. There's some Common references, but then these are people that I'm gonna have to look into. Common is not from LA, but on Gloria, Kendrick takes this topic of referring to this like rap lifestyle or rap in general as a love interest or whatever, like a relationship. SWV are from New York, so I don't know what happened, because I know Pharrell had contributions to that song, but he's not from LA too. He's from Virginia, boy. Bro, is this even a homage to LA at all? I think there's just instrumentals I missed it. Man of the Garden is cool because it's like positive outlook on you, but in a darker way. So there's introspection, there's some bouncy production. TV off is like Not Like Us Part 2. Lufa was fun, everybody liked the Fa-Fa. There is still homage on the album. There's introspection in a psychological way and reincarnated in Gloria. Experimentation when it comes to GNX, the way that it was reversed, but still goes from like how Hitter, Young Threat, Peso, and Kendrick carried themselves over the song. It wasn't just a regular flow. It's a fun album. It's not too serious. It lands itself a top 4. It was the best album that dropped this year. Shout out to Brad though. Let's move into top 3. Top 3. Let's try and talk some sense into Good Kid, Mad City. This is an album that actually has hits, like Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. That's a great song. Weird singing, but it doesn't kill the vibe. Backseat Freestyle is fun. You know what I mean? Awkward when you're watching the music video in college, and there's that one scene that plays on for too long, and then you have to play it off like, oh bro, I didn't even notice, bro. You know what I mean? You will notice when you watch the video again. The Art of Peer Pressure, great storytelling, Money Trees, J-Rock's verse is insane. Take your watch and tell you what time it is. Crazy bar. I think there's so many like quotables, but like not ones that I could use. Yeah, I mean, there's so many quotable lyrics from that song, from J-Rock's verse. The flow that J-Rock uses is crazy. Kendrick's gonna do what Kendrick's gonna do. It was a great sample from Beach House, I believe. Good chorus. There's some psychological value in that chorus as well, and that's what Kendrick actually does well, is these psychological elements, or this psychological intake, this like therapy session if you need it, but also poetry, because rap, what does that stand for? Everybody in the crowd right there. Thank you. So there's good rhythm, there's good poetry in Kendrick's catalog, So when you talk about like who is the best rap artist out of Drake and Kendrick, it's Kendrick. But if you want to say that Drake is the best hip hop artist, go ahead, bro. Drake is the GOAT, regardless of whatever the fuck happened. Mad City is Ivy's on top of Ivy's, bodies on top of bodies, obviously. Bodies on top of bodies, Ivy's on top. Schoolboy Q's contribution is iconic. You know, your Vine days and shit like that. The second half sample is Ice Cube, possibly a bird in the hand. Swimming pools is fun, there's still the psychology that Kendrick does so well. So that was top 3. Let's get into top 2. Let's talk about Damn. Alright, you know what? I can actually talk about this being concise, in a concise form. Because what Damn does well is its concise consistency. Of course, you got the psychological elements because it wouldn't be Kendrick Lamar if there wasn't any. But like the way he would actually experimented, but in a safe way. When you look at songs like XXX, when you talk about songs like Lust, Element, there were songs that were experimental in a way, like getting out of a comfort zone, but it's still in a safe way where he was able to still come through. Like the songs I've already mentioned, DNA. Love is very basic, but Zakari sang the chorus in a way that makes it distinctive. The storytelling that you get as well. On even Love, every single song has a good way of storytelling. But its highlights when it comes to storytelling or even psychology, because it's Kendrick Lamar, they come off of Fear, which is a lot of people's favorite songs. And Duckworth, where Duckworth is basically how Kendrick Lamar is in the position he is today. Because Top That wanted a burger, man. Humble is very basic too. It might even be more basic than Love. I think the illest song that you can find when it comes to everything that I've tried to tell you about this album is when you listen to a song like Lust. Because it's such an ill aesthetic when it comes to this R&B inspired, but Danny Brown inspired type of cut, man. Coming in at number 1. It's been stirring in your face the whole time. It's obviously the best rap album of all time, as I've already done the video on. Everything that I've said, Kendrick Lamar does best, pre or post the time of release for this album. It's brought to its actual maximum, brought to its full potential. It's a jazz rap album, which is more literal. It sounds like For Free, and a little bit in Alright. But bro, this album is so ill, it's insane. I don't want to keep using the same words. That's why I had to go ahead and say this album is everything Kendrick Lamar does well at its full potential. You got the poetry side of things, even like a whole poem. I remember you was conflicted. Then it goes into like Tupac interview. Track 13 is aggressive. I hope this isn't the wrong word to say, but this album is very Afro-surreal. It talks about African-American culture, specifically where Kendrick is from. But more like if you listen to Institutionalized, the way that sounds, it's done in such a psychological way that I'm gonna have to get a thesaurus. You especially, just based on how he's like bringing so much emotion to the point where his voice is breaking. How much a dollar cost is crazy. The fact that Kendrick brought it around to be a symbolism or God himself. These walls, so much like double entendre, psychological. There's so much that this album does that makes it one of the best albums to ever exist. That makes it the best rap album. That makes it the best album to release in music, bro. In the history of music. It's a very once-in-a-lifetime thing. Yes, it can be copied from, but it could never be duplicated. I don't think there's another artist that can do what Kendrick Lamar did on Top of a Butterfly. There's so much fun to have on this album too. Yes, there is a lot of, oh damn, I wasn't even from them times. If you've never heard this album in your life, never sat through it front to back, go ahead and do it, man. Yeah, there are these things that you could never relate to, but there's so much to learn from, maybe history-wise, psychology-wise, but I think just in general, like, if you're an artist and you really want to become the best that you see yourself, or like, damn, I branded myself this way, but I want to reach this type of potential, To Pimp a Butterfly is the best album that can do that for you. I think, look, we're having this talk. Let's crust. We're having this talk, man. I think a lot of the people that are watching this video possibly do look like me in some type of way. If you want to be a rapper, and it's a very, like, you have to be at a certain level to not be on, like, Tom McDonald or some shit. You have to be... Bro, you can even learn from Eminem now if you want to learn technicality. You can learn from Mac Miller. You can learn from Yeet. You could, like, yes, I said you can learn from Yeet. But these are the ways that you will carry yourselves if you look like Colin, bro. Or if you just look like your dad's self, bro. But you're not able to carry yourself in a certain type of way if you're not learning from who they did. I don't think Yeet would be doing what Yeet does if it wasn't for Playboi Carti. Playboi Carti wouldn't be doing what he does if it wasn't for the likes of Future or Gucci Mane. You know, I bring it in as well. No matter which artist is your favorite, there's history behind that artist, favorite artist behind that artist, favorite artist behind that. To learn how to carry yourself, you would have to learn why your favorite artist carries themselves that way. Whoever you are trying to pull from. But it can't be too much imitation. What else comes from within? That's gonna make you experiment more. If you want to be a rapper, like, the most concise answer I can give you is be cool. Alright, that's cool then. Last video ever. Like, comment, subscribe, peace.